Hey there, Rivermen fans. Welcome to another edition of Trudel's Take, presented by Premier Epoxy. Jason Ruff joined once again, and as always, by Rivermen head coach Jean-Guy Trudel. Guy, Happy New Year, sporting the Peoria Horsepower Mustangs uniform on, I see, for us today.
Yeah, I got the mites that offered me for a Christmas gift and New Year.
Nice.
Our mite teams are the horsepower, so really proud they get to skate with us on Skill Monday. So we're two great little teams and very happy, and I'm gonna absolutely wear it and support it all the time.
Everything comes back to the Mustangs. It's like all subsidiaries, like you have Mustangs, Junior Mustangs, Horsepower, et cetera, et cetera.
Absolutely, once we did that, they changed it. We wanted to make sure all our house league stays the Rivermen because the Mustangs are traveling a lot, and we have the Peoria rule, so they're on the road quite a bit. A lot of our kids at the youth hockey, our house league kids, are the one going to come to the Rivermen game, so we wanted to make sure that they kept the Rivermen name, and then all the travel team went to the Mustangs or Horsepower. So and it's just a Horsepower because of different rules and regulation. We have an A-high, and we could not keep them the Mustangs.
Right. It's a good color scheme.
I love
the dark blue with the sky blue.
I always loved it. I love this color scheme, and once we got in charge, and I was one of the owners of the Mustangs, we kind of came with this result. We love the colors.
Is blue your favorite color?
It is actually.
I don't know what gave it away.
Sky blue is my favorite color. Brings out my brown eyes.
Of course, it has something to do with your face.
Absolutely.
So, or rather, something to do with your face that Andy likes.
There you go. That's all that matters, right?
Well, this is our first show of 2024. Happy New Year, obviously. The Rivermen starting off the new year, I think, on a positive foot, going on the road in 3 tough road environments, taking 3 out of a possible 6 points. 3 very different games, though. Very interesting, and a lot of new faces, obviously.
Yeah, and that's the difficult part. I thought we were... We knew we went to Pensacola earlier, and they beat us twice, so we owed them, and we came out just flying. Officials took over the game a little bit in the second, and we spent a lot of times in the penalty box, and some deserve, of course. And in a third, I thought that game we played 55 great minutes, and to me, our penalty kill and goaltending that game won us a game because we killed so many penalties. I think they had a minute 40 on the 5-on-3, and our penalty kill was just outstanding. But I think it was more that the guys really wanted that game. They played extremely well. We only allowed 19 shots. With them having, I think it was a total of almost 12 minutes of power play time. So we did an outstanding job there, and it was we were so happy with that win. Then we got to Huntsville, and I don't know, people think that it's all glamorous on the road, but it's a long road. We 15 hours to Pensy, then 8 in the morning we leave. You get to Huntsville at 3, and then all of a sudden you have an hour in the hotel. You get back to the rink, you play another game, and they're waiting there for you. So I think we didn't play bad. I just think the second period we kind of were flat a little bit, and they took advantage of it. But I thought we played 2 really good periods. I think in the first and the third, we only gave 4 or 5 shots each period. So we played extremely well in those periods. And in the third game, we just kind of battled. We knew it was 3rd and 3 for us. Legs are not quite there. You're exhausted with all the travel, but the boys just kept battling, and we see that we always had a resilient bunch. We're lucky to have the veteran leadership we have, and if you squeeze a little bit, they usually come through for you, and we had to do that. And unfortunately, in shootout, it's a skill competition, and we had, I think, 3 or 4 opportunities to win it because they missed as a first shooter in overtime, and we just couldn't bury it, and that's okay. For me, when it goes to shootout, I call it a tie.
Coin flip.
Coin flip. And so for us, our 3rd and 3 with them just being their second game of the weekend, and battling and out shooting him in that game also on Instat. So for us, it was a positive for sure.
Well, that Saturday game, I even said on the air, from just a sole hockey perspective, if you're just a fan of the game of hockey and you have no real rooting interest, you love that Saturday game because it had pretty much everything.
Yeah. Yeah, it did, and it's it's 2 great organizations. We have a lot of respect for Huntsville, and we feel like it's fun going there. They're always packed. The barn is packed, and they do a great job of, I think, just even treating the opposite team, like our locker room, our food after. They just do a phenomenal job, and it's fun to be there. And we knew we had to battle because we lost the night before. Even though I felt like we played a pretty good game, we still lost. So we battled hard, came back, and it was a good game for the fans. We made a few, I would say, we're still kind of, like you said, with a lot of new players. Like we felt like even the first shift, we had Parsons out there. And we had Halton that hadn't played in 3-4 weeks. And so, we got a -1 right away, and then we kept battling back. So it's kind of a different game. When you have new players, it's hard to put them in the right situations because they never practice with you. So they have no idea about your rotations and your system. And I always say systems are there to promote mistakes because you should always be covered with your system, with what you do. And unfortunately, some guys are just not on the same page right now. But the effort was phenomenal.
Oh, absolutely. And of course, how about Alec Hagman, Captain Clutch, coming up not only with the game-tying goal to force overtime, but also in the shootout, round 5. Rivermen need a goal to keep it going. He comes up with one of the nastiest moves I think I've ever seen him pull off.
Yeah, it was good. Usually he dumps it in the corner on the breakaway. So it was good to see Hags puts it in. And no, he's been doing that for years for us. So we expected. And I thought he had so-so legs the last 2 games there of that road trip. And, Hags, he's got a lot of pride. And he felt like he owed the team. And I thought he had a great third period to kind of bring us back in the game and do what we have to do to get that point.
One of the things that I've noticed lately that we're seeing this year that maybe we didn't see as much of last year, the Rivermen are able to find tying goals with the goaltender pulled. I don't think the Rivermen scored a single goal last year with the goaltender pulled late in the third period. This year, a couple of times, they've been able to find those tying goals to force extra time. Is that something you pay attention to, and why can that be so important when it comes playoff time and you are in a situation where you need to find that goal to force OT?
Yeah, it started last year. I mean, we practice this, even when we get a delayed penalty, you practice a 6-on-5 and you put the right guys and change it in possession. And so our boys are veterans. They know how to play. They know their position. And that last 6-on-5, we always know pretty much just 6 guys, unless a guy was really bad in the game and I'll change 1 or 2 pieces, but for the most part, they know what they're supposed to be, what they're supposed to do, and with the talent we have, with the Bearsy and the Hags and all, the Wilkies and all those guys, there's so many threats on the ice that the other team don't know who to take, and I mean, we've had a lot of success, but again, I always say that anything, power play, PK, your numbers usually come with, you have to have a little luck, puck luck a little bit. If the goalies make a big save on your power play for the whole game, then you're 0 for 4. If they let one in, you're 1 for 4. All of a sudden, you're 25%. So it's a big difference, and it's the same thing 6-on-5. So for us, we believe that we're always in the game. We believe that we'll always have a chance to win, no matter what the score is, and that's what winning cultures are all about. And we've done that for years.
Speaking on special teams, that Thursday penalty kill effort, holy cow! That was one of the best penalty killing efforts over a course of a whole game I think I've seen all year.
I that's the best I think I've seen my whole career in Peoria.
Really?
We gave nothing. And Pensacola was, they were at 25, 26%.
Yep.
And they had the minute 45 or minute 40 on the 5-on-3. And they had, like I said, 11 minutes of power play time, and all in the second and
all in the second
third.
period.
And some third. So, I mean, just in those important moments with a lead to do all that we did, and we gave nothing. Like they had one chance on the 5-on-3 that we needed a big save, and we got it. 5-on-4, I don't think we gave anything. They had trouble entering the zone, and we were connected, and everything we did, our triggers, everybody was connected, and everybody was focused, and I think that comes with the preparation we had before the game. We knew we owed Pensacola, and I felt like all the players, no matter if they had a great game or an average game, they were still dialed in what we had to do to win the hockey game.
Not just denying the zone entries, the clean zone entries, but also breaking up the passing in the shooting lanes. There were a couple times where Pensacola was looking for that cross-ice pass on the 5-on-3, and I believe it was Zach Wilkie who got his stick out, deflected pucks away. There was one instance where Pensacola had a man set up on the back door. That pass gets through. That's in the back of the net. Like, everyone could see it coming. And then Zach Wilkie gets his stick out. That puck goes harmlessly into the crowd. That's when okay, your penalty kills are locked in here.
Yeah, they're locked in, and you have to play different against different teams. And I felt like we had a plan, but you never know if it's because there's so many things that happen in hockey that execution-wise, sometimes you think something's going to happen, then you cheat a little bit on the other side. But man, our boys were completely dialed in. They saw the passing lane. They knew the strengths of Pensacola. We took that away, and it was just beautiful. And I always say, it can give you momentum all the time, and I thought our PK gave us tons of momentum. Like every single time they came off the ice, the bench was going crazy. Oh, yeah. Because Wilkes and Dads had a few block shots also. So it makes a big difference when everybody's connected on the PK and you rotate the right way and your triggers are hard. And like you say, you deny entry. And even on faceoffs, I thought we won a lot of faceoffs also. So those are all the 4 or 5 things that we talk about every single day, and the boys came true. And I think the whole weekend, our PK was just outstanding.
It was. It was certainly outstanding. But another one that was outstanding in the story that I don't want to get lost from the Friday night game, Mario Cavalleri. In his first ever SPHL start, yes, he allowed 3 goals in the 3-0 loss, but that game could have been a whole lot worse had he not made some really big saves.
Yeah, that's where we played loose that game. I mean, we didn't give that many shots, but all our shots were like 2-on-1s or grade A's, and we didn't play very well when it comes to, I think, puck management in all zones or just understanding of what we can get against them. And that's the game that we got lost a little bit and gave up some 2-on-1s. And like I said, I think it comes with fatigue also. You travel all day after traveling 15 hours. Our boys were kind of not there mentally. But Mario played outstanding. I thought he had 8 or 9 really nice saves that he made look easy. Yeah. And as a coach, that's fun when you get 2-on-1s and he just makes an easy glove save and you're like, okay, the kid's kind of dialed in. And not only that, we love our humble athletes that want to come here and are happy to be Rivermen, and he's one of them, man. The first conversation I had with him on the phone, he's just really excited to have his opportunity at our level. Yeah. And he played high levels. He played CIS, and people that don't know this, in Canadian college, you play CIS, you're playing major junior kids that had 100 points a year because they decided to go to college instead of going pro. So it's a very good league, and his numbers were over 900 save percentage every year in CIS. So the kid could play. It was just a matter of getting an opportunity. And for us, we understood also that he's going to be a little nervous, but he didn't show it at all. We were really, really pleased with his poise in the net. And the boys felt comfortable. So I think that's why maybe they took a few more chances when we were down, knowing that Mario was going to be there on the back end.
What kind of intangibles does Mario Cavalleri have as a person, as a player, that stick out to you and that just make you just go gaga over a player like that?
I just said it. For me, humble athletes, great people that just want to get better every single day. It's contagious. And then everybody follows suit. Once you get too comfortable in hockey and your ego gets in the way, you're dead in the water. So for us to have another athlete that comes in and is just absolutely stoked to be a pure Riverman and have his chance is what we want. And you can work with those guys because usually those guys are sponges, and that's how you make them great hockey players.
We touched a little bit on the new players. For those who weren't able to hear our conversation before Thursday night's game, a lot of moves by the Peoria Rivermen fresh into the new year. What prompted those moves? Why did you decide now is the right time to make those moves? And now that you've gotten 3 games under your belt with some of these new players, what have the Rivermen gotten out of those transactions?
Well, we always appreciate everything that players do for the Rivermen, but sometimes you just feel like maybe the energy's not right, or some guys, like I said, are not completely content of being a pure Riverman, being here and buying into this team culture that it's never about you. It's all about us as a team and doing what we have to do every single day to make this city proud. And once you see that, you start thinking of changes, and transactions sometimes takes a long time. You have to have patience. You have to, in return of, if you're going to give a really good player, you have to get what you need as a team. And for us, we felt like we needed help on the back end. And with getting, Morsey, and then we got also Dobey that's in the coast right now, 2 young defensemen that are extremely talented. So we got that. And then I watched 6, 7 games on Zapata before making that trade. And I really enjoyed the way he played. He plays a heavy game. He plays a Riverman game. He goes to the net. He does the little things. Is he as talented as Wids right now? No, but he's a player I really like. He's more of a Peoria mold. He's still a puck possession game, but he goes to the net. He's not afraid. And you could see the first game. And then after that, of course, I think they just got lost a little bit in systems, both of them, because we play fast. We play different. So they just have to get used to it. But we're extremely happy with what we had. And of course, I had to make sure I thank Dale, because Dale, brought us a championship here in Peoria, did a lot for us. But I felt like after a few years, he was a little too comfortable and needed a change of scenery. And it's sometimes it happens in hockey. So we're really excited what we have. And I always, you wish your other guys good luck and you thank him for what they did. But at the same time, right now, they're not part of my team. So I got to focus on Z and on Morsey. And if Dobey comes back, on Dobey.
Yeah, absolutely. When speaking on Dion, he had I think I call it the Jason Hayward moment for the Rivermen in that third period. It's like, hey, guys, we're going to go out and win this game here. in Game 4 of the finals against Roanoke.
Yeah, and he's that old school guy. He's he can play 25 minutes a game and never complains and just goes out there, does his job. And that championship game, after we were playing average, I thought all periods in Roanoke, he just kind of stepped up in the locker room and as a 30-year-old guy, just said enough's enough here and let's go get this cup. And we did in that third period in overtime. So of course you thank him. He's a great man. We all have. I always say we all have our different things that we don't do so well. But as a man, he brought a championship in Peoria, and he's always going to be part of the family and take care of him. But I think it was time after a few years here to kind of, he needs another place to kind of get that energy back and get that passion back.
You need to adapt or die, basically.
Absolutely. And once you get to a certain age and you're playing in the SPHL, some guys react differently. Like we're lucky with Hags. Hags is a captain. He's the best shape of everybody here. He works out every single day. He's a true professional. Like, that those guys, when he's gone next year, we're going to have guys step up because they're hard to replace. So, but some guys, unfortunately, just get a little too comfortable, and that was the case in some other guys.
Next week is going to be the official halfway point of the season in terms of games played for the Peoria Rivermen. When you get to the halfway point as a coach, what goes through your mind in terms of where you want the team to be in terms of development and in terms of where the roster is?
That's a good question, man, because I evaluate at the halfway mark. I put like all kinds of evaluation, and my evaluation of not only individual players but also as a team. What do we need? What are we doing good? What are we not doing good? And pretty much my next 2.5 months, our practice plans are going to be adapting to what we have to do to get better every single day. So it's a fun time, the halfway mark, because you get so caught in a bubble in the year because it's game, practice. Like you don't stop, so your brain's always just going.
Oh, yeah.
And at the halfway mark, I usually sit down, and me and Levy are going to sit down and have a long meeting about what we need, what we have to do. And then, you have the college level that are going to be done in about 2 months. So our recruiting part is going to come. What do we need? Do we need this? And so we're excited about that. Those meetings are fun. And this year, I'm lucky enough that I'm not just talking to both my shoulders, to Jean-Guy A, Jean-Guy B. I actually have a staff to talk to and bounce ideas off. And I love when they challenge me in those meetings. And because as a head coach and as the only one voice in the past, sometimes you're like, you agree with yourself quite a bit, but having another guy is going to be nice. I always tell Levy, like, challenge me. If you see something differently, please let me know so we can talk about it and attack it. So it's going to be a really important mark to see where we're at. Don't get me wrong. We're extremely happy with our record. You got to remember last year we had 2 veteran goaltenders for the last 2 years. We knew every single game. They had a .925 save percentage. So you kind of know that you're going to be in a game this year. Younger guys, challenging, a lot of new faces. We lost all I always say our robots, our Nick Neville's that plays 25 minutes the right way, our Mitch McPherson. All those guys are gone now. So we had to bring in a lot of guys. And then we had, like, for the most part of the year, at least 4 or 5 injuries. Missing, like right now we're missing 3 of our top probably 6-7 players missing still. We had call-ups. So it's always hard as the season goes on to kind of evaluate that way, but we're extremely happy. We have 3 of our guys that should be back in 3 weeks or so. Those are big pieces. And then after that, we're adding a player this week also that I'm excited to see play. So it's all about what we need to make sure when we hit March that we're going full throttle.
Does Jean-Guy A and Jean-Guy B, does one have a halo and the other have devil horns?
Yeah, kind of. And I try to, the devil, when I try to put him away a little bit, but he always pops up for some reason.
Always does.
Yeah, and he's always there. But no, it's really nice to have Eric Levine and have a staff, and even Blake Orman's been helping, and I talk to Blakey quite a bit. So for us to have a staff and to kind of bounce ideas off each other, it's a lot easier than just by yourself every single day.
You kind of already answered my next question, which was going to be, how has it been working with Eric Levine, a former player that you have so much experience and such a good relationship with, bringing him into the coaching fold and having that relationship where he can, if he sees something different, he's going to say, Guy, that's not how I see it. We should probably do this. Someone to challenge you like that. How has that been? How has that relationship grown?
It's been good. I mean, I think Levy's still at the part where he's a sponge. He wants to learn and learn and learn. And but I want him to be at the part where he challenges me also. And I think Levy, we have so much respect for each other that I think sometimes he doesn't want to step on my toes a little bit. But that's why we have meetings. And no, it's been outstanding, not only for me, but for the organization. We know how much he cares about the Rivermen, and we know what type of he's just a great person. I mean, you can see why he's got a great family, and he's just a great person to be around, so positive. So, I always say as a head coach, sometimes you have to be the bad cop. So it's really nice to have a good cop all the time to make sure, he gets the players going. And he's got already great relationship with probably 10 or 11 guys in the locker room before the season started. And now he just continued building his relationship with the new guys. So what a great man, and we're lucky to have him. And he wants to continue in coaching. And, as an ex-player, he's part of my family. So I'm going to keep doing whatever I can to make sure he's successful at that job.
Well, you're going to need all hands on deck for this coming weekend. 3 straight games, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, against the Huntsville Havoc. At the end of this whole weekend, it's going to be 5 straight games between Peoria and Huntsville. You ever get tired of seeing the same opponent day in and day out?
Yeah, I do. I wish. I mean, it's a long year. Sometimes the scheduling, you wonder, but, we have no say. And, we could have played them other weekends and 5 in a row again, but it is what it is. And for us, a game presents itself in front of us. And, of course, we have pre-scouts on every team. But we are at the point where, as a lot of new players, we have to find an identity with everybody else. And this weekend is going to be we call it playoff series. When you play the same team 3 times in a row, it's a chance to kind of see how the playoffs would look. And we're going to just attack the weekend. The first game is going to be big for us. So we got to make sure we're ready. And the boys look really, really happy. It seems like the locker room is, I don't know, in a good place right now. So it's about us putting in the right work this week to make sure because Huntsville plays an extremely, really different game. They stack 4 on the blue line. They just wait. So for us, it's just more about understanding there and doing the right practice to make sure we have success against that type of defense.
Well, calendar night and country night will be on Friday for the Rivermen fans. They'll be wearing specialty country uniforms. The team will be. And fans will be able to get a free Rivermen calendar if they come early enough. Saturday, dyno races. Dyno races. Apparently, true story, they had so many people sign up for dyno race, they had to take the link down.
Oh, wow. Well, when it's bear races, let me know, because I'll be running just like this. Yeah, big bear
race.
Big bear will be running just like this.
We need bear night.
Yeah.
We need bear night.
I don't need a costume. I'll just grow the beard and I'll be running.
We need to get something going with the Peoria Zoo bear night. But no, on dinosaur night it'll be Saturday. The Rivermen also wearing specialty dinosaur uniforms that we're giving out at the conclusion of the game. Plus, the first 750 kids will be given a free Rivermen stocking cap courtesy of Klein Design. And of course, Sunday Family Fun Day at 3:15 p.m. Friday, Saturday games at 7:15. Guy, thanks so much for your time. Can't wait to see how this Rivermen team continues to grow and evolve, especially for an upcoming opponent like Huntsville.
Absolutely, and Happy New Year's, buddy.
Happy New Year to you as well, and to all of you fans. For Jean-Guy Trudel, I'm Jason Ruff. This has been Trudel's Take, presented by Premier Epoxy.